Welcome back to the channel. As always, I am Andrew Kavanaugh, and I just want to say thank you for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the channel, we're going to be reviewing a movie that is a new release. I haven't done one of these in a little while, but this is one that I had to pick up when I saw it. I had a choice to make. It was either this or Enter the Dragon. And I know, to much of the chagrin of some of my viewers, again, I am sorry, but I had a coupon. I had a coupon for Best Buy, and money's a little tight lately. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get into personal things here, but money was tight, and I said, well, I have this coupon. If it works for Enter the Dragon, I'll get that. If not, I'll get this. And funny enough, the coupon was for full priced items only. And the Flash just happened to be full price. So I picked up this Best Buy exclusive Steelbook of The Flash. And as you can see here, there is some really nice packaging here. I love the chest piece of the suit being the star of the show here. And if I open it up, it reveals the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc, along with this really neat picture of the two Barrys with Batman there in the middle. And I just really like this, and I know how these Steelbooks go so quickly. So I had a decision to make, and this is what I made. Sorry, guys. I'm sure I will pick up Enter the Dragon very soon. But this was one of these movies that I saw in theaters, and I do not review a lot of mainline movies, movie releases. I don't do a lot of reviews of those anymore here on this channel. If you want to see those kinds of reviews, definitely go check out my TikTok, because on TikTok there I can do quick little reviews. I can, kind of hop right on and, share my thoughts. I never really get into spoilers or anything like that, but I find that this platform here is very saturated with those kinds of reviews, which is why I stick to my little niche of 4K Blu-ray reviews. So definitely go check me out on TikTok, and there's also pictures of the Steelbook on my Instagram, and I'll leave those little addresses here on my screen so you can go and check those out. But The Flash just came out this week, and this movie I saw in theaters. It was actually a pretty packed house when I saw it, but this movie was definitely not a hit at the box office this year. Much like when Batman '89 came out, this has definitely been the most crowded year of big budget films that has probably happened in my lifetime. It's been a very long time since we've seen so many big movies just come out one after the other after the other. Mission Impossible, this, Indiana Jones. I mean, there was just a one big movie after the other this year. And then you have surprises like Barbie and Oppenheimer, which just blew everybody away. This Steelbook from Best Buy, sadly, this is really the only way you can get the 4K and the Blu-ray and the digital copy all together. The standard 4K version of this is just the 4K disc. There's no standard Blu-ray, and it does come with a digital copy, however. But I kind of had to get this. I love my Steelbooks, and I really enjoyed this movie, so I had to pick this up. And I'm glad that I did. To jump right into the review here, this is a 4K digital intermediate with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, HDR10, all that good stuff. And the movie looks spectacular. All throughout the film, the movie looks amazing. Colors pop. They are extremely vivid. They are never vivid to the point where it's overwhelming, but the reds, the blues, black levels are amazing on this. One scene in particular where Batman and the Flash go to this undisclosed location to accomplish a goal. Again, I won't spoil anything. It's at night, and that scene looks absolutely incredible. The shadow details are dead on perfect. it really is one of these eye-poppingly great-looking movies. Now, the one thing is, of course, it being a new movie, you would expect special effects to be pretty good. This movie definitely has an issue with that, and I think it's its biggest problem. The biggest reason why this movie did not do well in the theaters, because word of mouth spread that the special effects were horrible. And I will say, at times, the special effects in this movie are pretty brutal. The director said that it was on purpose to make it a little bit more comic booky, cartoonish, and I understand that. But the movie in 4K really shows off these rough special effects in a way that you just can't ignore. I mean, it is so apparent on 4K that it's kind of shocking. To be honest with you, they looked worse in 4K than they did when I saw it in IMAX at the movie theaters. But the movie as a whole really redeems it. And as I mentioned, the picture quality throughout, the detail level is ultra high. I mean, you can see little itty bitty details on the Flash's suit. You can make out like stubble on Ben Affleck's like chin at the beginning of the movie. It's really incredible, the amount of detail. But with that incredible detail, you do get, like I mentioned, the extremely blatantly obvious rough CGI that's in this. So if you can weigh it out, it's worth watching. It really is an incredible looking film. There is one battle sequence where there are quite a few explosions, and they just look so amazing. So, if you can take the good with the bad, it's definitely an outstanding 4K disc. Again, it's a brand new film. It's a 4K digital intermediate. I give Warner Brothers a lot of credit for making this a 4K digital intermediate. A lot of other really big budget comic book movies have an upscaled 2K intermediate, and this one they didn't do that. They went straight 4K with it, so you can get the highest, purest version of the movie, and I appreciated that. But of course, like I said, you got to watch out for that CGI, because when it happens, you'll see it. As for the audio on this, as I mentioned, it does come with a Dolby Atmos track, and that Dolby Atmos track is incredible as well. The music in the movie sounds amazing. I was able to differentiate music and dialogue much better on this Dolby Atmos track. The sound effects are perfectly placed throughout, and there are quite a few of them in this movie. There are actually some really good uses of overheads in this. One scene in particular with a jet. Again, I won't give it away. Flying overhead, it sounds really amazing as it makes its way over your home theater. There's quite a few really great moments in this. The music to me is the ultimate standout. Hearing Danny Elfman score again as Michael Keaton appears is one of the highlights of my life, honestly. And being able to see that in a theater was incredible. And now to have that on 4K, it's just an amazing thing to witness. And yeah, it's just a really great audio mix all around. I mean, no complaints, 10 out of 10, like that good. It is really that good. I didn't have to play with the volume or anything. It was just dead on perfect. The other great thing about this, and I'm glad that Warner Brothers did this as well, is that they put all their special features on the 4K disc as well as the Blu-ray. So if you aren't able to get this Steelbook and you just get the standard 4K, you're going to get all the special features. There are quite a few of them. There's a couple featurettes about the making of the film. There's a really great featurette, I think it's about 20 minutes long, about the return of Michael Keaton as Batman, which was really interesting because it really showed that the cast and crew were fans and they really wanted to make his return special. And I'm glad that they did. They did a great job with that. There is a featurette about Supergirl. There are some scene studies, some, little things how they did certain scenes. There's also a scripted podcast called The Flash Escape the Midnight Circus, which is included, as well as kind of a making of that podcast. There's deleted scenes, trailers, pretty much everything is right on the 4K disc as well as the Blu-ray. I'm glad that they used a triple layered 4K disc for this, because I don't think it would have been possible to be able to fit the movie and all that together, but they did. They did a great job with it. And overall, I mean, this is really a good one to pick up. As I mentioned, CGI, regardless of that, this is a very entertaining film. I was very surprised at a lot of moments in this. It made me laugh. It moved me emotionally. I was very, very impressed with this film. And this 4K transfer is an absolute knockout. Definitely go and get The Flash. I loved this disc and this movie. Fantastic stuff from Warner Brothers. That's it for today for Kavanaugh's Corner. Just want to say thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If you enjoyed this review, definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel below so you can see more reviews like this when they're released. And if you hit that little bell icon, you get notified, because I release these sometimes in the middle of the week, sometimes on the weekend. I'm kind of all over the place here, but I always make sure to upload at least a review a week, or at least I try. Sometimes, like this week, we get hit by a hurricane and I have to delay things a little bit, but I'm still here. I'm not underwater. And one last thing I wanted to say before I complete my sign off here. This past week, Bob Barker passed away. And this was a gentleman who, sadly, I never had the pleasure of meeting, but I grew up with this guy. And I have a lot of fond memories of watching The Price is Right during the summertime with my grandfather while I was homesick from school. A lot of really special memories, a lot of laughs, and just a lot of great times. And I don't think I would be here doing this. And I know this isn't television, but I definitely wouldn't have the courage to be here in front of all of you doing what I do uh, if it wasn't for that man and his charm and charisma. And I'm gonna miss him very much. And even at 99 years old, it felt like a real loss. And so, rest in peace, Bob Barker. Truly an amazing entertainer, just the greatest game show host of all time, in my opinion. I owe a lot to that guy and to his incredible efforts for animals. This guy was one of the greatest animal activists that ever lived, and he did a lot of great work for a lot of charities. So, in honor of Bob, I'm going to sign off a little bit differently tonight. Uh, Please still take care, be safe, but also help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.